Hello and welcome, as it is the completion of the 21st day of November 2020. My name is Derek. This is the Money Charts channel, where, like always, all bets, trades, and of the like, that's within each's own risk and their own reward. For myself, risk reward management, always job number one. So, as part of the disclaimer as well, the four-letter words in which that I choose to use at different times will be done so. Okay. Starting off within Bitcoin, looking at a whole bunch of periods back to September when the price was barely over 10,000. And therefore, or what has been going on within it, we have this little bit of a sideways range, up move, sideways, up. Markets correct one of two ways, either through price or through time, and really and/or. This is a spot where it corrected while it was still going up. So, and then we have an up move, and then the correctionary phase is this ascending triangle. But the up move from this low to this high again, correctionary phase, up move, correctionary phase. And now we have an up move possibly, look, and it is for the last little bit. Been correcting just within this 18 average band. This is a single hour term time frame. It got into this band about 2200 hours yesterday, 10 p.m. Eastern, and it's really just been doing yada yada. A whole bunch of nothing, and well, a whole bunch of nothing means it's holding in there, which means a lot. And as I was saying before, when Bitcoin goes up, a lot of times you're going to see the altcoins against Bitcoin have some decent declines, and that's been the case. But when Bitcoin stops that of going up, well, then you can have some significant moves. And you can't sell a percentage moves because it's just been a new change, 7 p.m. Eastern as I'm doing this. I plan on DGB, it says it's up 10%. Once a new tick comes in, that'll change to nothing. But for the day, something like Ripple was up 40% against Bitcoin. I mean, this is just crazy. It was like 1655, now it's at 2500. This is the hour term time frame. And on the daily chart, ooh, what kind of update did we have? Yeah, 40% was up. 39.99%. But it also means on the weekly, all it's doing is continuing in within this, or just really regaining where it was before. That was this possible sideways reaction with support in here. And then the resistance, which was support back in here. So can it make a possible monstrous fail? I don't know why it's doing that, but can it make a monstrous failed breakout, or this be a failed move? Well, we'll see in time. But I mean, just because it's up 40%, it's up a lot. It could go up in 60% or 70% on Sunday as a possibility. I'm not saying that it will, but it sure as heck, the way these cryptocurrencies, when they go, they can oftentimes have that of fantastic moves within it. Now, I want to talk about some of the 3x funds. And it's all simple math. We're going to look at first the bullshit, as they call it, which is bull for bullish and shit for shit coins. And this is priced in at 505 units. Now, how this works, the blockchain, and this whole, how it's actually legal and everything, I actually don't understand it. But what I do understand, these things, if you ever want to get into it, you can see 3x long shitcoin index token USD. You really got to get in and out fast, whether you're taking the bull and the bear. But as it goes, what this can give you is just indications to how the markets are moving, and a lot of other markets showing a lot of similar things. So we have this high in here. So the altcoins were doing very well up until the end of August. And then here's a decline. Can't get past the 18. We established resistance, barely getting above the 18 of highs, but that's all it can do. Then it barely gets above it here. But now supports it for a while, and just an amazing excitation breaking above that level of resistance. So this is telling me a lot right now that these altcoins might be ready for some big gains. Now, as it goes, let's take a look at the percentage gain for today on the Saturday session, up 25.58%. So we'll just say 25%. And it's easy math because where I'm going to be getting into. And overall for this thing, it's been I mean, this should be going up for what it's been doing, but from the open, this is down like a lot, really, when you think about this being at like 3,000. But then you have this move going from 3,600 down to 30. Now, if you go to the bear shit one, which is priced in at 4 units, the opposite of this. Remember, this was up 25% today. So if the up one's up 25, what should the down one be down? Or the opposite one be down? If you think the answer is 25, for what it should be, based on how this is, yeah, maybe you're right, but no, it shouldn't be. As far as making it, but I mean, look at this weekly chart. Here we got 10,000 plus, down to 4. I mean, probably like the stock market, a whole bunch of like splits. Like this wasn't priced at 12,000 before. It's just all of a sudden one of these times, like, okay, the price is now 5 times higher, but you have 20% of the coins you had last time. I don't know how they do it. I don't play these things. But we look at this on the daily term time frame. The down move was 23.45%. And if something goes up 25%, what's the equivalent down move? The answer is 20%. For if something goes from 100 units and it gains 25%, it would go to 125. If something falls from 125 to 100, well, that's losing 1/5 of your value, or that of 20%. 100% up is the same as 50% down. And then 10% up is like 9% down, or 9.1, or something amongst that area. But the same thing you're going to look at with the mid ones. You have the mid bear and the mid bull. And the mid bull one, it's just a beautiful setup showing the similar sort of thing as well here. For the day, it was up 24.67%. But the mid-bear one, just getting its ass kicked, it destroyed, down 25%. Yeah, why wasn't it down 20? And then when you look at this from, it's the same sort of deal here. This thing was at like over 9,000. Now it's at 6. Yeah, so let's just have no problem losing like well more than 1,000 times its value. You can't buy and hold these things. It's just dumb. But I mean, how could a bear fund be good? Well, if you feel confident that the coins are going to go down for an hour or 5 hours or 5 days or something, then these things can come in handy. If you figure down here, oh yeah, I think the market's gonna go down, and you want to buy this at 11, you right up, and now you can sell for 18 or whatever, and you actually end up getting, even if you sell on the way back down at like 15 for profit, then you can still do it. But if you're still holding it, you're like, oh, I bought it, I didn't do anything, and now I still hold it, and you're getting your ass kicked again. I mean, that's just stupid. Now let's move on next to Bitcoin Cash, 0.016397. And for the day on Saturday, up 13.5%. And already in just a few hours, up 5.77%. I literally just bought some because I traded Ripple to buy Bitcoin Cash. Well, I thought a bigger move would have occurred. How is it up 5% since? I guess it's since here? No. Anyway, it's not up 5% for... But what it is, it's been up all day. Because if you look at this on the 5-minute time frame, well, actually it's not showing it there. But even on the 5-minute, it's just an interesting pattern in what you can see in here. When you draw in all the areas of where the support lies in, just rising as it is. You have this high, match in here, match in here, match in here. So 1, 2, 3. And then you can just like this. Hold and stay above at that area. That's an indication that the thing's ready to go. And this thing is barely broken out since getting above this resistance. This thing has got more uproot left as we move into today's session. And 15-minute time frame all day. This thing was at 0.0138, now 0.0165. Hourly term, just nice and beautiful. And so many periods above the 18, and a lot of times that's eco. It's so scary, but technically speaking, buying here at like the 1637 handle was like at the 11-hour mark earlier today. Oh, little. I mean, it worked out for you right now, but I'd rather buy it now after I've seen it pull back a bit. So even though it hasn't come down to the 18 in any form like this, that does tell me that I think we're going to have a decent leg higher than this. Just going over this amongst the short term, just a beautiful break above the 18 average as it's done. So just breezing past this previous level of support, getting past this one. And now it looks like it's even getting past this one. So what's the next area of previous possible support? Well, I guess daily chart, we're still competing within the low November areas. But if it's going to get by this, there hasn't been support since the 20 handle. So that probably would be a decent way. And I feel like doing Fibonacci just for something to do. So let's just go ahead and scoop what this low is. I can see it's the 1361 handle. So I'm going to bring up my calculator. And then let's find out what the high happens to be. And I'm going to use one of the bigger highs. I could use this one. Or I could use this one. And this one here, I'm talking about going like 9% Fibonacci to start. So yeah, let's just see how it looks with let's see how the 23.6 on it looks first. 48.26 handle. So 23.6, the first area that's working towards is 18.35. That's pretty much where we haven't even gotten to yet. So this thing's got a long ways that this thing has a potential to go up towards. So you see these things have these early gains, 20, 30, 40%. You know what? That could be the end of it. And it also could be the very early start of it as well. Because when these things go, markets go up and the crypto scape a lot quicker than they go down. And I've said that over and over on this channel. So here's October 15th high. And here's a low that stops on like November the 17th. So basically a month to go from key high to key low. Well, it would take like, a week or less to go up to this area. So it wouldn't be a surprise. This is day number 2 of what could be like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to get back up there. And I've seen that happen so many times. They could do it like in this session. We could see tomorrow, Bitcoin's at like the 24 handle. And you're looking at like markets that are like showing 62 and 65% up moves for the day. Very much in the realm of possibility. And a lot of this, when you look at the tangible sense of form of actual real supply, how many Bitcoins and whatever coins we're looking at are actually really for sale versus how many people are actually buying? I mean, the answer to that is anyone that puts in sell orders and sells towards the market, sellers that come in, like even myself, and the markets go up, and it's just not enough of those people that are there right now to make the market book very heavy or thick to the point where it's really hard to have big moves like 6, 8, 9, 10%. But it's so easy to have those large moves because there's a limited amount of ask orders when there's a lot of buyers that are in heavy control within so many of these markets. This is what you see when buyers are in extreme control of this market. And so that's the Bitcoin Cash. But what's interesting is the actual Bitcoin against the new one is not going up today, which I think is interesting. In fact, I hope it goes down more because I want to get buy order fills in. And it looks like having a nice break on the 1 minute term time frame. But just throughout the day, this thing has just been grinding within an attempt to go above the 18 average highs to break out. Nope. Quick little attempt here. Nope. Break out above in here. Nope. Now this is the first attempt right now on this hour since back yesterday, day and a half ago as I'm doing this, or 35 hours ago, to break down below the 18 lows. See if it does. I got a buy order at 22.80 and a sell order. I haven't got it shown in here, but I have a sell order probably around 27 change. And that is the Bitcoin Cash. I want to talk about Teslas and DGB as well. Tesla's is looking pretty darn near good right now. I want to talk about this a little bit here. But before we do that, what was going on in here? Yeah, regular down move, not yada yada, this bunch of stuff. Oh, then we have this 3 hour in the morning, November 21st. This is all Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern whatever time. Don't know if we're on Standard or the other one. But with that being said, what is this? Well, what this is, we'll look at this more clearly. This is just someone who really wanted to buy heavy. And I'll explain more about that when I shorten the time frame out. But it comes up to this key level. This is Fibonacci. Resist it and just hangs in there for a while. And then we see all the support and how it's like lifted off. This thing's looking fantastic, breaking out above the 18 average of highs. There it is on the 15-minute time frame. How about the 5-minute? Okay. And if we even just go all the way back to the 1, this, what do we explain? What happened here? And again, that was just very large buy by somebody. Someone who had a lot of Bitcoin. Either A, by mistake, bought that large amount. And obviously, if they bought that large amount by mistake, they either kept their, they didn't, of course, probably. They would have kept their Teslas and be like, oh, whatever, I'll just hold on to it because the market didn't go down. Because if they did it by mistake, they'd have to sell it off, and it would just be an ugly situation there. What it probably is just somebody just doesn't have the patience, the time, and really even a lot of the know-how to know how to make a big, big buy. And thus, they just buy whatever amount of Teslas they will get with that X amount of Bitcoin, which is a large, probably 7-figure number in dollar terms. The high 6 figures into 7 figures. They're going to buy it with. Probably not high 6, probably 7. But with that being said, they just buy it and that's it. So they don't mind buying an average of what it would be, like 1,300 or whatever. And Binance will tell you what the average is when you do it. And sometimes they're right about it, but of course, one of the ways you would want to do it if you were in that situation, and you want to do it as quick as possible, is figure out what number do I want to buy it up to, and then buy whatever you can at that, and then just really stay around the computer, manage to keep your buy orders in. So say it's back in here, it's 11.94. I'm like, I'll buy it up to I'll buy the entire market up to 12.24 handle. And then I'll put buy orders in 1220, 1210, 1200. And then I'm going to wait for more sellers to pile in. And then just keep on taking them bit by bit by bit. Move the market up 1%, 2% or something. And then stop for a bit. Place buy orders in. And then, again, wait for more supply to enter the market. This way, with the Bitcoin, I'd probably get a bit more Teslas doing it that way. I definitely would have got a bit more that way. But again, it's a lot faster just to do what he or she or they would have done. Just buy it up. Buying it up to 1,400 or an additional 250 points. That's like over 20%. But a lot of those people are like, I don't care. I don't give a shit because it's like, I know it's going to go way, way up. And it's going to go up to 14 handle again soon, then 16 handle, 20, 30, 60, 80. And they don't even think they're dollar terms. They're looking at, well, this thing's right now, which is like a, $2 and change coin. They're like, it's going to be a $5, $10, $20, $50 coin. And if they believe that, they're putting that stakes in. They don't really care about paying a little bit of a premium. And that's what they did at that time. But hey, this thing since this low in here, breaking it very, very nicely. On the daily trend, this thing has been getting its ass kicked large. It's been going down pretty much since August the 14th. Remember, these things go down usually, and this was pretty slow going down, a lot slower than they do going up. So middle of August, bottom in here, November 20. That's a little over 3 months. You could end up seeing, like, you look at some of these days in here, like up 13% or up 8%, 10%, 13%, 3 days in a row. You could easily see stuff like that. And in here, there's a spot where this was like late January. This was 1,600 handle. And then it doesn't take long, like month, to hit the top of that range. Straight up move. These things can happen at any given time, and like as it goes right now, daily term, this move is just flattening the band out at best. It's got and a decent enough move to establish a little bit of a level of resistance to, which you want to build above the 18 average of highs, but still got a long ways to go to tell me that this isn't a really good bull market ready to go. But a lot of these coins having, yeah, again, just fantastic moves right now towards the upside. DGB, I was asked as well earlier, and against Bitcoin. I remember saying before, and Brown was breaking down, oh, I probably should just like sell everything. I mean, I said it's going to go down, and of course it did. But everything, of course, has been going down. On the single hour term time frame, you know what, it isn't having the greatest of moves yet, but when these things go off, they could have fantastic plays. Now, I don't know, I can't find on here historical DGB versus US dollar. I was trying to find it. I mean, I can find some of it, but going back to like 2017 and even earlier, I used to have calculated by TradingView for like Bittrex, but that's not available. Binance hasn't had DGB for a while. The best I can get, these are okay. I can get maybe this, and well, against the dollar, how does it look? Attempting to break out. But there's so many different coins. If you're looking for coins that if you're confident that it's going to be a good coin, it's a lot cheaper than some of the others because it hasn't had any real breakout rallies the last few days or hours, compared to coins like Ethereum and LITECOIN and Ripple and Bitcoin Cash, which have at least had some bit of such. But I do truly believe that the shit that I've been waiting for, and I've been waiting for so frickin' long, is here. The dartboard rally that I talk about, where pretty much everything goes up together, nice proportionary moves. And this would be a good timing to happen. I know I'm just getting like nitpicky personal for my own timing because I'm in the middle of an NHL hockey offseason and I've been enjoying playing fantasy sports. And well, it's hockey ain't coming back until the start of January. So if the rest of November and December can be a very volatile, especially up month, that would be just fantastic. And then hopefully get a lot more trades myself within the markets. But as it goes, we got... within DGB, the March lows that occurred, this is where it was like a quarter of 1 penny or 4 DGB for a penny. Then it has this fantastic rally up to where we are now, basically. A little bit of the sideways action. Failed breakout, but oftentimes from failed moves, and one side gives fast move in the opposite direction. Not really much of one. In fact, almost a failed move to the downside. Not really, but maybe. Because you hit this high, quickly back to the 18, but it never really does break down in here. If it gets up above here, like over 3 1/3 pennies, like 3.3 cents, it could be a fantastic move going forward. Don't really think there's much else to cover, but like a lot of these things like are just the exact same thing. I mean, Dash, just, oh my goodness, monster downtrend against Bitcoin. This is going from the 33,000 handle down to the 500 handle. But on the daily chart, this thing had an interesting day, up 13%. Getting above this, you can see the situation. If this holds at like 470 or so, or higher, even 465. For a bit, but it's also stating, hey, I've just barely broken this resistance. For all I know, in like 40-60 hours, I wouldn't be surprised if this was at the 700 handle or close to it. And option wise, the probability odds that this goes from 50 to 70, what's that difference of 2 into 5, like 40%? The probability odds of a 40% move, 50% move, whatever big move you want to give me, the mathematical chances right now that to happen, and that amount of hours, 30, 40, 60, 80, whatever, is a lot higher than it would be, say, on like, say, October 26th, or pretty much all of these days, mostly all of them, because the bullish setup for the probability odds for that kind of play is there, where it wasn't before, when it was like just squeaking the 18 lows. This is where the odds of a big crash falling was big. Here's a situation where it held successfully amongst the 18 lows. It's gotten above the highs. 18 average level starting to flatten out. So it's just starting to show signs of a possible rebuild as looking at it from this direction. But I find this very, very interesting and fascinating. Like, holy shit, what could possibly happen moving forward? At least with myself, as I look at how I plan on continuing on my investing moving forward. Because it totally, to me, feels as if we're right at or very close to where I started. Bitcoin's in at 18,727. But what I'm referring to is, because we had this high in here. I almost feel like we're like we were here, in some of these places, and it was right in here, right at this high, when this was going on, when the altcoin bull market just took off, and Bitcoin took off too. So I feel that's going to happen now. Whatever happens, happens. And I like to call that a dartboard rally. A dartboard rally to me is when pretty much everything goes up against Bitcoin at the exact same time and at large rates of ascent and so on. And for significant gains. Yeah, that would be the term that I'm using. And I use the term dartboard rally. And I know I'm individualizing it using dartboard because for me, I played a decent amount of darts when I was younger. When I would shoot on the dartboard, I never was that great. You shoot for and I can't remember what numbers were beside what numbers, but I was always several inches off from where I wanted to shoot, so my accuracy sucked. But if you were shooting for a 20 and you hit a 6, and again, I forget what number was beside it, hey, it still works, you still win. That's the type of thinking. Oh, maybe, and then one of every maybe 40, 50, 60, 70 times or something I shoot at the dartboard. I'm not shooting for like doubles or something. And if I'm just shooting to make the board, I can make the board practically every time, which means whatever cryptocurrency you buy, maybe there might be a very low percentage, hence the idea of missing the dartboard, but practically everything is going to go up. Some will do much better and worse than others. Thus, a very good dart throw versus a not so good one, but one that still hits the board kind of deal. Another way of putting it, like you look at the top 50. Oh, these are the top 50 coins of the list. And if you get the first, second, third best one, that was a good dartboard throw. If you got of the 50 winners, like the 45th, 46th, 50th, oh man, that was a pretty shitty game. But hey, at least it was a gain. And I know myself that a lot of these coins like GRS and PIVX, I get a little nervous about to a degree. And to the degree is because, if these things falter on me, I got a lot of pair combos I'm very confident, like Theta, Tezos, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash. But is there a possibility that this one's just going to end up going to nothing? I do believe a lot of the coins that do go to nothing, well, you know what? They're going to have a good chance of sustaining a rally of some sort during the dartboard rally. And then in time, months or years from now, go to their oblivion point. So that's GRS and then PIVX as well. But within PIVX, though, a lot of things that I think of, you want to talk about going straight up, and you want that 2017 move. Let's take a look at the Bittrex one, because this was sick back in 2017. So this is what it looked like back here. So you had a spot, you're in the 18 average, trading at 674. Then you establish resistance at 24, come back to the band, play around with the highs, and then all this, just a beautiful setup. And then you have a day where it's up 410%. And the day before that, it was up 58. The day before that, it was up 31. The day before that, it was up 20. And then after the 410% up day or 5x move, once you get to a number, I don't even know why we use percents. So, once you get to 410, now you can start to say 5.1x. 1700%, just say 18x kind of deal. But anyway, 118%. like 2x move. And then we finish it off on this little level here, making a 142% move. I mean, if stuff like that happens again, that was for a week, by the way. So the daily term time frame, let me just, because there were some sick daily moves. When you look at this, 68% one day, then 64% the next, then 23 the next, 39 the next. After that, 30%. I mean, these are just crazy sick moves that can occur really at any given time. I mean, to a degree, but it looks like those, it's not, in the sense that it's not random, because it's not, that probabilities that we could have anything within these natures, within whatever coins, could be fantastic. And because a lot of coins have gotten their ass destroyed, like holy shit type of down moments, you can have those same type of up moments as well too. And I'm hoping for it. But yeah, if I play some of these coins and they end up going to like yada yada nothing, some of them are going to be winners and some are going to be losers. All it takes is one big winner to cancel out so many losers in a lot of the way of playing. At least the way I play both this and like fantasy sports, because you can make like 20 units on one play, and then there goes 4 units there and 3 units there and 2 units there, and you're still up like about 10. But anyways, thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.